All right. So if you folks would like to introduce yourselves, your cosplays, and we'll roll into the questions right after that.
Okay.
Oop.
I'm Sig.
I'm Delia, and I'm a forest dryad.
So you guys went hard in the cosplay, especially for this weather we're in. This is perfect. We made a poor decision and showed up in layers and stuff like that. So
I just took this shirt off, even though it's thin. It's still too much. And I got some stuff going on here.
Yeah, that is nice, man. And you said it was your first time?
Yeah.
You did fantastic.
Yeah,
There's so many people, and I'm not trying to be rude. There's the Spirit Halloween costumes, stuff like that. I did it myself.
She's a master craftswoman.
No way.
Good job.
It looks great.
Thanks.
Man, that's cool. And so how long have you been doing the convention thing then?
Actually, not for too long. I started in high school around like sophomore year, but I've been doing crafts for my entire life pretty much.
Okay.
But my friend actually introduced me, and I remember the first time I came, I thought it was so cringe. I was like, ew, what is this? And then here I am, like my 6th convention going to. It's all right. I guess I'm cringe now.
It's all right. You know what?
It's not my background. I'm looking around.
Yeah.
It's crazy to get used to, right? The people, the sights, unfortunately, the smells.
I walked past someone, they smelled like onions and like the burritos from Taco Bell. And someone smelled like Hot Pockets and ass. I don't know. It's kind of gross.
That's a horrific combination.
Yeah.
That is
bad.
fantastic. You know,
Or you get the guys that just spray too much Axe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cover up the Hot Pockets and ass.
Yeah.
it's not a shower.
That smells like fish and like Bath and Body Works spray. You know, it's not good.
I didn't say that. That was not on me, editor.
Takes a woman to say it, yeah.
That's so funny. Pull yourself together, cameraman. All right. So on to my next question before I lose it completely. So I gotta ask: you've done a few. This was your first. Do you have any fun stories of the convention, or what keeps you? If not, what keeps you coming back? Because I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I have a hard time explaining to people why exactly I get out of bed at the crack of dawn, or I spend.
It's a place where a lot of people are around at the same time. Generally the same age level. I'm 20 and she's 19, so generally the same age level, you know. So it's not boring most of the time.
Fair enough.
And everyone's in all these costumes, and I don't know anything about anime, so I get to ask everybody.
that does make it exciting, right? Yeah. Just seeing something new around every corner.
Yeah, you get to dress up in the way you want, you know, that looks cool.
Yeah.
I get to explain all about what this is. It's Celtic heritage stuff. It's an ancient writing system from Ireland called the Ovum. They're all different symbols that represent different trees and vegetation.
No way, man. A little bit of cultural learning in this outing.
Yeah, I've show the heritage a bit with a little bit of a fantasy wood elf fusion to it.
That's really cool, man, because I've seen a lot of Norse. I've seen a lot of Eastern European.
Oh, yeah.
But
Jorvik stuff.
You never know who you're going to run into, and it's always fun to learn something. And
you don't see much Irish stuff. Like, I got a yellow shirt over there, and the yellow shirt is a crucial part of it, because in Renaissance to medieval Ireland, the status symbol of a noble is that he would have a long yellow shirt. It was called a lenya, and it was dyed with saffron, just saffron, and that's unbelievably expensive. So it was a sign of status. So they got saffron dyed shirts.
Man, I am learning stuff today. That is amazing too. And this is just for me. I've been around. I've met a lot of people, a lot of cultures. It's kind of cool to see behind somebody else.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. You're not just seeing the regular everyday person. You see where they come from, where their mindset was originated from, so to speak. Because I come from an interesting culture myself, and some people don't get why you think like that. Why do you act like that? Why is the family treated like this? And there's stuff that's hard to explain if you're not from there. Yeah. And it's really cool to get that little peek behind the lens. This was like...
And some people don't even know their own heritage that well.
They don't.
You know? They're stuck here, or everyone's kind of based with the gray buildings. It's nothing, no impression, you know, and then there's like t-shirts and jeans, you know?
Yup.
And the hats, and it's... People should wear their cultural stuff. Because it's nothing to think of. None of it's lame. It's way better than right now in terms of the aesthetic. It's way cooler.
The only reason I can't is finding size 13 boots is incredibly difficult, and getting them custom made is unreal expensive.
Mexican?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Half actually.
Half.
half is from over that side, and the other half is from quite local, really close around here.
Okay, cool.
So little bit of a mixed heritage, lots of fun, makes it interesting.
Yeah.
So family reunions are wild.
I can imagine.
But it's been a pleasure meeting you guys. Any last minute notes or anything you want to share while we still got you, or we're going to roll on to the next one? Because I don't want to eat up too much of your guys' time. And it is 103 for everybody at home right now.
Yes.
We're braving it out in the heat. The convention center is over behind us.
Yeah, these
I like
prosthetics.
the air though.
Oh.
The fresh air.
I'm sweating underneath these
I can't
prosthetics
wear
right
wigs
now.
for too long.
Don't take mine, you're off.
It might not go back.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah, I mostly come every year just because I like all the people here and I can talk with people that are interested in the same thing. You know, it's like pretty much the same reason why I think everyone else is here. Make friends and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good break from living like in an apartment complex with a bunch of like old people and those
Yes.
30-year-old guys with the big trucks and the careers that are.
I feel that. I'm getting there myself, so I'm trying to fight it every day.
Yeah.
But
It's cool and all.
this is nice, man. It
It's
makes you
good.
feel young, hang out with people who want to have fun, who aren't worried about whatever sports team's doing what. It's, oh, can you believe
Yeah.
this show is coming out? Or have you seen that amazing costume? Or you meet the craziest person in the hall. They're so nice. Like, it's hard to believe people like this exist until you're here. And
And it's really cool because everybody here really likes. It reminds me of trips I took to this hippie town in Oregon, but it's like everyone likes to talk here, when most of the time in Sacramento in this area, everyone like ignores like if everybody else exists.
Yeah, if you say hi to someone, they look at you like you're, ooh, who the fuck?
it's a little bit of a rough area.
Yeah.
I'm from not too far down the road here, and we stay out of Sacramento unless you need something.
Yeah.
Or we got to visit family in West Sac, and that's always an
I think
adventure.
It's,
Limit it as much as possible.
Yeah.
But something like this, you know, it's like everybody's opening up.
Oh
It's more
yeah.
natural. It's more natural.
So we're gonna jump right into this. If you folks like to introduce yourselves, tell me how you got into cosplaying, stuff like that. What do you want to start with today?
I'll go first. So, yep, Cosplay Ramirez, both on and off the airsoft field with my friends. Really, this is only my second time coming to SacAnime, but after getting back into airsoft, I thought, you know what? I don't have the budget or time for a costume, but I already have my airsoft gear. I'm just gonna put it on, and it was the quickest thing I could do.
It's perfect. It's so welcome here.
Alright, so my name's Shiva. I got into cosplaying about a couple years back. I got introduced to it from a friend, and I started doing anime cosplays, and then I slowly moved up to playing airsoft, and then now I'm using my airsoft kit for cosplay, and it's just a vibe.
Fair enough. Start with
I'm call sign Goat Gun, and I just started airsofting not a couple of years ago, and then I ended up working there, and then the anime conventions happened, and so I was always intrigued by how people can dress up intensely just for a day.
it takes a lot. Believe it or not, we're actually cosplayers. He's been doing it 2 days in a row. I am recovering from a tendon injury, so I'm taking it easy and not pushing my luck.
Oh, for sure.
Almost fell down the stairs just walking. Didn't need armor or anything else to make
Yeah,
it worse.
I'm kind of in a similar situation too. I was in a car accident a while back.
Oh,
I still
shit.
got muscle tension in my neck, and this backpack isn't helping with the
Dude,
sores, but
You gotta
I
take
need-
it
I need
easy.
water. Yeah, no.
Okay, fair enough. I hate to be that guy. Get a fanny pack. It's the same thing.
Fair enough. I did a cosplay.
Yeah, but I don't want to
so
look like the San Francisco. That's my issue.
Tactical fanny pack. It's
Not even tactical fanny pack, tactical pack.
exactly. See, he gets
I'll
it.
get one of those ones.
It's not that bad, bro. I'm just saying. You need form. You need function. Had that backwards. Ignore me. Ignore the dude with the camera. Sorry about that. So I gotta ask, since stories are fun ones, do you guys have any fun stories? Or are we gonna roll right past that? Because
Fun stories of the con or fun stories in life in general?
con or airsoft, since you guys specifically do that. I like airsoft shit. I think it's fun. I don't get into it as much as I used to because I'm old. I can't get running around anymore.
You know, airsoft stories? So I actually started back in middle school, back in 2012, 2013. But then, just because of crazy personal stuff that I obviously won't go into detail to.
Of course.
I kind of fell out of it. And once COVID hit, I was like, you know what? I need a hobby or something to kill time on my weekends. I can't just stay home anymore and locked up. And so I found out that outdoor airsoft fields were open again. So I budgeted my money a bit, bought some new airsoft kit, and just started getting back into the sport. And it's probably one of the most welcoming communities you'll meet for the most part. Obviously, there's a few bad apples that you'll encounter, but ultimately, some of the best friends that I've made, I know that they're going to last long compared to the friendships that have come and gone from school and other things. These are the friends I know that I'm going to be able to go back to every so often.
That's cool, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you're still enjoying it because, hey, I do car stuff myself. Our editor is, like I said, scaly. So we all have our hobbies, and finding a cool community like really helps you. How do I say this without being like too pessimistic? Like pass the time, so to speak. There's some weeks and months where you're just like, fuck, man. Just wrap this one up, on to the next one, and having something to look forward to, whether it's an airsoft outing, run into a con, it really it helps make the days go by. So, anybody else, or are we gonna wrap up into the fun photo shoot?
I don't think they're gonna be able to one up my story.
Yeah, I mean, there's a story about the airsoft field. So, a team of 5 guys rolled up one day, only wearing Speedos, and I'm not joking, Speedos and a chest rig.
I think he won up to you. I don't know.
They were rocking pistols only, and every time they killed someone, they just teabagged on them. And they're like, "Get Speedoed." Like,
I don't know if I want to get into airsofting anymore.
It was a one-time thing, and I was glad it was a one-time thing.
Bro, I did.
I was not one of those guys. I will say that right now. I was not.
One of the people who got teabagged, or one of the people in Speedos?
The one of the people in Speedos.
Yeah. It's funny. Oh man, this is gonna be perfect for the content on our channel, honestly.
Hey, content.
I'm definitely gonna want to watch this afterwards to see how smart I sound.
Sure.
Oh, you're doing good so far. You're better than us. We're super DIY, and we try to make everything as comfortable as we can for the people we work with. Because luckily, this will be the first, not to be rude, but on our level, face to face. We don't show our faces. We keep things relatively anonymous. So we're trying to be as cool, open with people, as transparent. I guess that's the best word. Our online friends, man, they just send it. So crazy shit is pretty normal in our neck of the woods. Do we have one more, or are we running our course? Okay. I get it. Top and Speedos, not exactly an easy one. Nothing like a casual harassment game.
Imagine getting shot in the balls with only a
I don't want to. I really don't. Because I don't do this as a hobby. I came from a very small town out in the middle of the country, and it was not uncommon for people to get hit with airsoft, pellets, BBs. It was one time somebody drew a paintball with malicious intent. That was fun. My cousin took one in the back of the knee. I abandoned him. I wasn't sticking around. I got out of there. So I'm not trying to imagine bear skin or latex getting caught with a professional grade airsoft rifle. That sounds horrible. Oh.
And you said you wanted an interesting story.
You got me, man.
Mine was colorful. Yours is just...
That's on brand. It's perfectly on brand. Yeah, it is. I can't even hold a straight face. I'm trying to be cameras swaying. My knees are weak.
Arms heavy, arms spaghetti.
I think that's all we could fit in before the DMCA catches us. Well, thank you guys so much. If there's anything else you want to share, if not, it's been such a pleasure working with you guys. I appreciate it. Oh, special guest. All right, we're cutting right there. All right. So if you can, could you please introduce yourselves and let me know who's going on and what's going on? Because this is a lot for me. This is out of my wheelhouse.
Okay, so I'm a keto. I don't really know what to say besides that. I make fursuits as a hobby, passion, job.
Okay. That's funny. We were just talking about believe it or not, one of my friends does this for a living, and she scares the absolute hell out of me. But
I can see why. It's quite a talent.
The goblin mode of turning off social life for like 3 weeks and just banging out work, and then you see her and she just looks like hell.
Hi.
Oh, so apparently it runs in the culture.
Oh yeah.
So we tell a lot of stories on our format and on our episodes of the stuff we do at cons. I got to hear from this side of the... Oh.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll come back in 5. This is part of the experience. All right, so that'll be a problem for the editor. Our resident overlord lizard, his name is TheDravo, but he'll figure that out. So I gotta ask, because the culture is a little bit of a divide. How'd you guys get into doing the con thing and committing to full fursuit in triple-digit weather? That is insane to me.
Want to go first?
Sure. So, I've actually been full suiting for around 3 years now. In California weather, I know.
That is insane.
But I think when I first started fursuiting, I had a partial and I just kind of didn't know what to wear with it. So I was like, why not just jump right into a full suit? Because then I don't really have to worry about that. That's kind of just how I got into it. It's kind of lame.
That is such high levels of commitment, because EVA foam's rough, cosplay robes, different material, a full suit with minimal breathability, because I know there are tips and tricks. I've actually added fans and little cooling loops to some of my cosplays, and it's not easy and it's not cheap. So I respect that. I don't get the whole fandom, but I respect the hell out of the commitment. So jumping over to our other guest as well. How about yourself?
What? Sorry.
How'd you get into this, and how did you get to this level? Because I know, as someone who started going to cons 11 years ago, there's different build-ups to how committed you are to it.
Okay, so how I joined the fandom was I had always found interest in anthropomorphic animals or costumes that you can just have and make your own character of.
Okay.
So then I was watching FNAF videos and I found, oh my god, this is a fursuit. And so I looked it up. Later on, I found my cousin is a furry, and she makes them as her life job. So then I commissioned a suit from her, and then I started partialing, and then I went to Furball. And then from Furball, which is just furries meeting up at a bowling alley, I got introduced to conventions, and my first con was in 2019, PawCon. And so now I've just been going every time I can.
No way.
And I've slowly just built up and created these.
So, you got in just before, well, we still can't say it on YouTube, they'll actually flag us for propaganda, before the lockdown and before the dark times hit. How was it getting into a very internet-based fandom when all we had was the internet? Social outings wasn't a thing for 2 years.
It was definitely interesting. We did host a few little meetups with our friends.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while, once we know we're good, no COVID, no nothing,
Okay.
we'd go meet up, and then we'd go do whatever. But it's very interesting. The fandom is great if you're on the right side of it, but there's their cons in every fandom.
Yeah. I've been to a few of the events where we've had people get banned, thrown out for a whole myriad of things, and I just in the anime community, I've seen it, and I understand it. As much shit as I talk, we do try to be as equal opportunity as we can on our podcast and what we put out in the universe. So we try to be nice to as many people, give them the benefit of the doubt. I have seen some cringe shit. I definitely got punched by a furry, although it wasn't in malicious intent. She was just being drunk and stupid. So I can't hold it against her. The glove helped. It definitely helped with the padding for sure. Otherwise, that would have been nasty. But I think this is especially with how friendly people are, I think it's really cool to see it's not the weird unheard of subculture it used to be, at least in my opinion. Because I'm from the early 2000s to late 90s when this was a myth. Events like this weren't a thing.
Yeah, I'm glad they've come around now and all the communities just kind of join together. Like make new friends. Some people even meet their partners at cons. Like it's really cool.
Oh wow! One thing I will say is you got to keep an eye on your friends specifically, because before recording that was nuts. I was worried about you. That'll be for the behind the scenes, so keep that one between us. Shit. So one of the things we do like to do is ask people, and I might get put the mic a little closer up to you because it is getting louder. Specifically your friend, just in the background. Crazy con stories are a staple of our podcast and our guests. It seems like everybody we talk to has one. If you have one you're comfortable sharing, if not, we could roll on into something else. But it seems like everybody we've asked today has had some batshit stuff, from Speedo airsofters. Okay. Let's roll over onto our other guest here, who has been bouncing since we started talking like 20 minutes ago. You are a ball of energy. You're hard for an old guy like me to like deal with.
Okay, so in terms of con stories, I have one. It's from 2018. It was my first ever con, my first ever fursuit, and around. And there's just like it was this like 30-year-old girl, woman, and she came up to me. I was wearing my suit. She flat just pushed me, like straight onto the ground. Took my head, ran off. We had to get con security on her ass, and I got it 2 days later. Like the last day of the con was my first ever con, and then I ended up selling the suit literally 2 days later. Really? So I just did not like it anymore.
Yeah, fair.
Is that Dave Strider? Oh my God, Dave Strider!
But yeah, I don't. That's kind of it. Most of my cons have been pretty pleasant, other than occasional fights with my friends. But
that happens. That happens to everybody.
So yeah, no, my cons have been pretty chill recently.
Well, I'm glad to hear you haven't had too much crazy stuff. I'm sorry somebody felt the need to just come mess with you. That was like, I admit I'm not always the most subtle person when I'm messing with people, but to a random stranger, that's ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to just walk up and, especially that close, to put your hands on somebody. I'm glad to hear things go mostly well. I really am.
Me too.
Well, I got you both here. I may as well get your opinion on a subject, because I made some friends with a few interesting furries a while back, and they were not shy about who they were. And after we had a few drinks in us, shit got really weird. The long and short of it is, at one point, I probably was the asshole in this situation. One of my friends, she's really like rough and just pushy tomboy. At one point, I may have like swatted at her just to push her off, and I hit the nose of her head, and it spun the mask all the way around, so she couldn't see. That's when I got punched. She got so mad at me. Did I commit major foul, or was that like?
Oh, no, some people just happen. Some people have absolutely humongous heads, or some people have really fitted heads.
So that's exactly what happened.
He's really fitted.
I went to push her off, and it literally just went backwards. I'm like,
because my head is huge, very big, very wide range. Akito's head here is very small and fits their head perfectly. So it was probably just a case of a little bigger. Unless it was really hard.
I don't think it was that bad. I was kind of like, hey, stop. You're about to knock me off of this shitty hotel chair.
There's also different like varieties of fursuits too. Like myself, I own 24 different fursuits.
Jesus Christ. I have like 9 cosplays, and I feel like that's excessive.
I make them. What can I say?
So do I, but hold up. Cameraman cramped.
Yeah, we both have well over 10 suits.
24 fursuits is a massive commitment. I have about 9 cosplays, and I whittled it down because I had more, and that feels like too much. But I guess when you're passionate, especially when you are a talented maker, I'm very hokey, DIY, make shit with a Dremel and foam and see if it holds together.
It also is just the variety. Like I have Skull Dog, I have Skull Cat, I have Toonie fursuits, I don't have a Komodo fursuit. I want one really badly.
Fair.
You're trying to take mine from me.
Hey.
But it all just depends on variety, and every suit is going to fit different.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you both so much for your time. I appreciate it. I'm glad to hear some perspectives outside of my usual sphere. Because as much as our editor and our other guy, DJ, try to communicate, they're so bad at it. They're just like, you don't understand.
No, me too.
Well, thank you both so very much. I appreciate it. And we'll hopefully catch you guys around the cons as we see you now. Whatever suit you're in, feel free to flag us down.
All right.
All right. Thank you both.